All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host, Larry, and today I'm going to be showing you how to connect your PlayStation 4 controller to your Windows PC using Bluetooth so that you can play all your favorite Steam games and have it so that, when possible, you get to use and see all of your favorite Steam buttons on the screen, because there's a fairly decent number of games out there that actually have support for the DualShock controller and for the DualSense controller, which is the PlayStation 5 variant. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that your controller is connected to your PC however you prefer. You can plug it in, or you can connect it via Bluetooth. If you don't know how to do that, all you gotta do, open up your Bluetooth and devices settings, or search Bluetooth and devices in your Windows search bar to bring up this panel. Then press and hold the PlayStation button and the share button until the light bar on the back of your controller does a disco party, and then click on Add Device here at the top, and then in this little pop-up, click Bluetooth, and then your wireless controller should show up here in the list of discoverable devices. Go ahead and click on it, and then bingo bango, it is now connected to your PC. From here, we need to open up the Steam settings for things like controllers and actually just like the program itself by going to Steam in the upper left-hand corner and then click on Settings. Then once you've got that done, inside of the settings panel, it should look something like this. For the most part, a lot of controllers now in Steam, and Steam's gotten a lot better at this, will pretty much be good to go once you plug them in and Steam recognizes that it's a controller and more or less knows what it needs to do with it. I've already renamed my controller Larry's Swanky PS4 controller. You can rename yours whatever you want at the top, just for fun. It also helps to keep track of which one is which, so you don't get confused. And then, in a lot of cases, you should be good to go. Unless you want to test that all the buttons are working correctly, you can click Begin Test at the bottom here. And then if you go under Pair and Manage, there's actually only really one setting that you need to pay attention to that's super important. So by default, it should show enabled in games without support. What this means is when a game doesn't have proper PlayStation 4 controller support, it doesn't know what your controller is or what to do with it, Steam will double check, and if that's a problem, it'll step in and it'll tell the game that this is actually an Xbox controller, and it'll take over control of the controller for the game. If not, it will allow it to, function as a PlayStation controller automatically, and it won't get involved and it won't interfere with the PlayStation controller being a PlayStation controller. And it's best for the most part to leave it at enabled in games without support, because that's going to automatically do its thing, and I haven't really had problems with it in a very long time. Now, in some cases, you'll need to say not enabled because Steam will erroneously think that the game needs its help in order to use that controller, and it prevents it from functioning correctly. This will disable Steam from getting involved. If you want to make sure Steam is always involved and your PlayStation controller is always treated like an Xbox controller, you can click Enabled, and it'll forcibly enable Steam controller support all of the time. And you can kind of see that in the background here, where the controller support changes under the game Enshrouded as I change these settings. So as I change it to enable in games without support, it'll say, hey, our game fully supports the DualShock controller. If I say not enabled, same thing. But if I say enabled, it'll say mostly playable with your controller, because it thinks that this is something weird, because now Steam has intercepted the controller on behalf of the game. So just leave it at enabled in games without support is the moral of the story. The rest of these controls are pretty straightforward. Guide button focuses Steam. This means that if you hit the home button, it'll bring up the Steam app on your computer. Oftentimes it'll mean it'll open up the big picture mode controls. You can turn that off. Enable Steam input for Xbox controllers. You can enable or disable that as well. Pretty much all of these do that. You've got Switch Pro controller support, but you're using a PlayStation 4 controller, so not really a big deal. You want to turn off your controller when exiting big picture mode? No, because I don't really use big picture mode. I think it gets in the way. You can ignore the enable guide button chords for controllers. And if you want to, you can also tweak the desktop layout for the different controls inside of here. Although the way that Steam handles redoing buttons customizedly, it means that Steam has to be in control of your controller, so that may not always work the way that you want it to. Unless, again, you enable Steam support for it all the time, which means Steam takes control. And that's pretty much what you need to know, really, is just that this is your primary bread and butter for tweaking the name, making sure the device works correctly. If this was a Nintendo controller, you can change the use Nintendo button layout button here, or universal face glyphs if you're using the controller in big picture mode. And then over here, it's really just this pull down menu that you need to pay attention to. The rest of these you can pretty much just ignore. And that's really it. Now you can go run around and use your controller all over Steam without having a nary a care in the world, outside of making sure it stays charged. Because, you know, these controllers do wear out a lot faster than you think that they would, despite how small they are. That'll be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.